The Winona Sports Network welcomes you to Thunder Talk. Thanks to Arcadia Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Get all the dirt from Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Direct from Dan Bailey.
Hey, race fans, welcome to episode 333 of Thunder Talk on the Winona Sports Network, 99.3 FM, and streaming live on WinonaRadio.com. I'm Dan Bailey. We are all excited about the Dairyland Showdown at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Changed a little bit over the last few days. Of course, it was originally scheduled to be a 3-day special event, but Mother Nature had that R word in the Thursday forecast, so now it's a 2-day special event today and tomorrow. Both days for the late models going to be $25,000 to win, and one of our local hot shoes is going to be giving it a shot to see if maybe he can roll the dice and take home a $25,000 check at least once or twice this week. We will find out. Joining me on this week's edition of Thunder Talk is none other than 6-time track champion at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, Lance Hofer. Lance, welcome to the program this week.
Yeah, welcome, Dan. Thanks for having me.
You have a lot of success at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, going back to the days when you and your brother were having some fun with a 4-cylinder car, through your modified days, through your USRA late model days where you picked up a lot of feature wins and those 6-track championships. Now you're going outlaw late model racing. How does that change your mindset coming into a big event like this? 25 G's on the line both tonight and tomorrow, Saturday.
It changes it quite a bit. A lot more work to be done, get the cars ready. Honestly, a lot more learning for us to do, too. We're pretty new to this, but I think the car owner and my family and my wife and everybody's behind me 100%, so hopefully we can make a go at it and give it our best shot.
Yeah, let's talk about how this came about. Obviously, a big change for you. I mentioned the success that you had with the USRA late model. This year, though, you're setting that aside and you're focusing solely on the open late model. When did you make that decision to do just open late model racing this year, and kind of how did that decision come about for you?
I kind of decided that close to the end of the year last year. I drove a couple limited races last year only, and this year it's better if I just focus on just the one car with a bigger motor and try to get more seat time and learning the driving style. And they drive a lot different than anything I've driven before. So we just decided that we need to focus. If you're going to be good in one deal there, you got to put all your assets in one basket, not have everything spread all apart, you know.
A casual fan might think Lance has had a lot of success with his prior late model, but you just mentioned these late models are so different comparing the USRA late models to these full-blown ground-pounding open late models. But I do want to ask you, does all that experience and all that success in the USRA late model at all help? Does that give you any sort of an advantage? Because you are now going to be considered a rookie in the open late model ranks. Does that help you make the transition at all? Or do you kind of have to unlearn everything you learned that worked in that USRA late model and start from scratch?
You don't have to unlearn everything, but the suspensions are similar, but the shocks and springs are so different. And we got right about probably double the horsepower in these things, and the tires are just so much different. And yeah, it's a lot more to relearn, I guess you're right. I mean, you still got 4 tires and a steering wheel, you know, so I can try to figure that out. I think that's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be a bunch of suspension things and tires, and we're new to this game, but got some good help with stuff, so I think we'll figure it out pretty quick.
You have proven in the past that you know how to get into victory lane at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, and I am not at all trying to come at this from a negative standpoint, but realistically, with the World of Outlaw late model competitors in the house tonight and tomorrow, what would you consider a successful result for you either tonight or tomorrow night?
I mean, we want to try to win every race, but
Sure.
Realistically, I mean, you got to get in the show to start with. I think my biggest struggle is probably going to be qualifying. I have hardly any experience at that, so it's going to be that's a learning curve there. But other than that, I think if we can get in the show, we'll do all right. We'll be pretty competitive. It's just getting in the show is a big thing, and you can't learn if you're not in the show. So if we get to make the big race and make a bunch of laps, then we learn a lot more on the tires and shocks and springs and how the car is going to react with 50 laps on it instead of 10.
You've mentioned a couple times learning and trying to figure out this new monster that you're going to be piloting. One of the things that I love, and I think a lot of local fans love about regular Friday, Saturday night grassroots racing, is the camaraderie that happens in the pits. But now you're mixing it up with the big dogs, and I get the feeling that everybody holds their cards a little closer to their vest. Are there still opportunities for your competitors to assist? Or are they like, dude, you're on your own. You got to figure it out on your own now?
I'd say the open late model racing is a lot of it. You got to do it on your own. Only other option is spending money. So a lot of people don't want to help unless you spend money. So. Which I don't blame them. That's business, But I think we'll be okay. We were learning a lot every time at the track. We're getting better. I felt fairly good with the car at practice. I think we'll be okay. And big thing, seat time.
This weekend, we're all excited about, and we're talking about the Dairyland Showdown at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. But you're looking at this entire 2024 season with this open late model of yours. So, what other events are you targeting, or are you going to be racing weekly somewhere, or kind of what's your plan for this year?
Our really only weekly track we're going to maybe go to some when we're not going to other races. It'll be Cedar Lake some, but we're going to go to a bunch of the open races in the Midwest, in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa and stuff, and maybe go a little further to Kansas and some other places. But big things, we just got to get seat time. I think my car owner's pretty good about that, and he wants us to he'd have us race every night if we could, I think. So He's pretty good about that, and we're going to try to race as much as we can.
Well, let's open that book then, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about the car owner and also supporters and sponsors that will be on the number 11 this year.
The guy that owns my car is named Steve Eisenberg. Actually, last year, the Dairyland Showdown, I gave him a call on Sunday after the race, and he kind of told me to come get the car and do what I want with it and go out and have fun. He used to race, and he's kind of not doing so much of that anymore, so he just wants us to go out and have fun. And the guy loves racing. He's a good dude. More than willing to help us out however we need, and it's a good deal, and I ain't got enough good words to say about him.
The Eisenberg family has definitely enjoyed a lot of success in the racing world, and I'm sure you're hoping to carry on with that. Tell us those sponsors on the 11 for this year.
Yeah, we got a couple new ones. We got Custom Fabrication Repair. They're on board with us this year. Complete Filtration Resources, Hosfeld Manufacturing, Furnish 123, Victory Promotions, Buffalo Saloon, and Midwest Repair. That's who we got on board with us this year, and everybody's more than willing to step up and help, so it's a good deal.
So $25,000 to win both tonight and tomorrow, Saturday, at Mississippi Thunder Speedway with the Dairyland Showdown at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, presented by Dynamic Concrete Resurfacing. A lot of the big dogs are going to be there this weekend, some with the late models, some double dipping in both a late model and a modified, getting ready for the big deal coming up at the end of May. Lance, as you kind of sit back and look at the names that you're going to be trying to compete with this weekend, are there any that you always considered to be the drivers that you wanted to cheer for? Or were you a fan of any of these regular open late model racers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't like racing if you don't like some of them open late model guys. I mean, you got Bobby Pierce and Mikey Marlar and, Chris Madden, a bunch of them guys. And then they put on a show, and that's why they're in them seats they're in, So there's a lot. I respect them guys, and they're a hell of a wheelman, that's for sure.
All right. Well, I tell you what, race fans, if you want to see Lance Hofer with his open late model during the Dairyland Showdown presented by Dynamic Concrete Resurfacing, you can check it out at Mississippi Thunder Speedway both tonight, the Friday night program, and tomorrow night, the Saturday night program, both of which are going to be $25,000 to win for the late models, and a huge handful of modified stars going to be competing as well. Hot laps get started at 6:30, and as a matter of fact, tonight, after the final checkered flag, you can party at the track with Troubleshooter, big name in the local music ranks. They've been around for a while, and they're going to be hitting the Thunder stage after tonight's races. So we hope that you will come join us both tonight and tomorrow night for the Dairyland Showdown and cheer on six-time track champion Lance Hofer as he tries to take his new open late model into the big ranks and make it into both shows tonight and tomorrow. Lance, I appreciate you joining us this week. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan.
Tune in next week for all the dirt from Mississippi Thunder Speedway with Thunder Talk on the Winona Sports Network. Thanks to Arcadia Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.